in on this. Gosh damn. Oh, there we go. It is a Yamaha company or a Japanese made in Japan version where they copied the original Leedy and Ludwig design cosmetically. You can see it looks just like you'd see. Well, there's no bead there because these shells, these Yamaha ones had reverse beads, right? Anyway, look at that though. I much prefer that older, the original Con, to the. Let me see. Where's the drum? Where's the Supra that I have? Yeah, here. Okay, so take a good look at that. Get that in your brain. Oop, see that? See the spacing between each like Art Deco nugget? We're gonna real fast run to here. This is the post era. See? Still looks cool. Don't get me wrong, but I prefer the other. All right. A Ludwig. Look at this. Ouch. This is a Ludwig. I'm going to. Let's see. Hang on. Look at that. That look familiar. Welcome to the kinetic playground. Hang on a second, look at that. I'll show you this. Hang on. This is made by a dear friend. Let me see here. Dun, dun, whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at that. Blue. Oh my god. Whoa, whoa. So do you see that? That is, son of a buck. I gotta, hang on a second. Oh, I pan back. Stand by. Here. Everything was going so smooth until that moment. Until that, there's my new system. Look at that. All right. Look at this. Ludwig. 26. Yes. 1969, 1970. Step aside. Go over there. All right. So check that out. That is a pellet gun that I have there. That is a Ludwig. That is a 8-lug standard aluminum at the earlier frosty shell, which is nice. Now look at that. Oh, you know what I should do? I should use this shell just to compare the later Imperial with the earlier. But look at it. Yeah. So that's a. What I did is Ludwig now sells the flat Imperials. They started that about maybe 10 years ago. I hope I was somehow helpful in their quest to do that. I should. They didn't ask, and I wish I'd offered that they use the older design. I'll show it to you right now. Hang on, I have it right here. I have an extra one or two. I love these. I have. Hang on. Run over and got this snare drum. Hang on. Look at that. There's the flooring. There's the. There's the boarding. It's the boarding. There's the flooring. All right, there's the. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, right here. What am I talking about? This one right here. Here we go. This is it. So you'll see on the right will be. My dad used to call this half, for the love of criminy, crickets, criminy. Let's get this. Move right away. You do. Black dots on a snare. I gotta tell you, it's a nice secret weapon. Just throw a black dot, a CS black dot, right on your snare. It's a great all-purpose. All right, so check it out. So, on the top are the that is the mod post, let's say 1961 or 2 or whatever it would have been, 63. See that? So check that out. You go down to here. See that? So you see that? See how it's up? Now look right there. See the inner nugget right at the bead. Then the bigger slice, and then the big nugget. So look at that. Stare, take a snapshot. Then go. Compare and contrast. Now don't get me wrong, these are cool. These actually look crispy. I did say to somebody that they do look, they are like real, like 1962, like they look like I don't know, like they look sharp or something. I mean, I do like that, but what I'm saying is, well, actually, here's my input. What I had recommended or thought that we should have done is to bring back this version of the Imperial. See that? See, it's a little more it's definitely the older one. See, that's a little more regal. I like the equidistant sort of spacing, do you know what I mean, of the space here and then the space here, you know what I mean, versus the tighter, it's not, it's just, the bigger piece is just bigger. Both the inner pieces are just larger, they take up more room, and then therefore the space. Anyway, so there those babies are. All right, so this is the drum room. I'm gonna go back to getting the talking out. We're going back to just camera only. Thank you so much. A word from our sponsor, Hostess Cupcakes. Put them in the freezer, give them a day. When you eat them, they're fantastic. They're not frozen, but they're in suspended animation, and they're like, you eat them and they're like, oh, they're delicious. They're the cure-all for many things. All right, so there it is. And that's my magical new Sonic. Yes, sirree, from now on, when I record Terry Keating stuff, that is the drum kit that will be used. Notice the classy, bright, frickin' gloss wrap, black wrap. What they did was, I think they felt like it was too sharp for the cash or the price point, or it might have been candle, but it just looked too damn good. Because you know why? Look, I'll tell you, here's the secret and the reason why I did. Look at the black with the chrome and then the silver badge. Okay? It's not a chrome badge, it's a silver badge. Chrome-ish. You know what I mean? That's frosty, like the writing on there. Do you see that? Look at that. Look. You know what I mean? It's like the bigger silver birch line bag, except that it's not black. The ink isn't black. There's no ink. It's just, isn't that cool? It's like frosted, or maybe the inside is chrome and that's frosted chrome around. But isn't that sharp? But look at that, man. And this wrap is exquisitely put on. I think they put on the flat sheets and then roll them into shells. They sing. They're thin shells. Hang on. And they sing. Those are 14 by 20, 14 by 14, 2 8 by 12s. I do have this 24, 16, 9 by 13. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep it. We'll see. But here are the amber Vista lights. Oh, wait, I gotta shut up now. I'm supposed to not be talking. Shit. Get the shadow out. Here we go. Right there. No, there's shadows there too. Alrighty. Hang on. Hang on. Alright, there it is. So this is the opening shot. This is Pompeii. Bing! Gong! Moon! When! Ging! Boong! Gong! Dong! Well, boom, ba-boom, boom, pow. Whoa, boom, ba-boom, boom, whoa, whoa. And then eventually it's like, it goes through this whole thing, and finally it goes, well, boom, bounce, boom, boom, bounce, boom, bounce, boom, 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 and the camera goes like that around stuff, like, well, boom, boom, bounce, boom, boom, except it would say Pink Floyd London right there. That's the coolest thing of all time. Just so you know. All right, so I do have that. Check this out. That's actually a Gretsch made, but it had the what's the brand they used to sometimes use? Some of the companies out there. Wahlberg and Auger, but I don't think that was it. Maybe it was Wahlberg. Anyway, but you can see that's the Gretsch. You know, I love the silver with the red stripe, and also the red stripe with the silver stripe. But what I did is put the bottom-sized mock lugs on that. Okay, so but that is an 8 lug 10. I'm sorry, 10 by 14. Right, that's a 10 by 14, isn't it? Wait, where's the 12? Do I have a 12 by 15 as a rack? No way. Oh, no. Do I? No. That's just 10 by 14. Yeah, because underneath it is a Ludaloy 12 by 15 8 lug. You'll see that's the marching lug. It's different than the mock lug. Even now the mock lugs on the floor toms and stuff, the bass drums were a bigger gauge than both of these. You'd only see the gauge, this gauge, and sort of the shorter version of those. See, let me get close to it for the love of the Christian Science monitor. You know what I mean? Look at that. There it is. But on the on the bass drums and floor toms on the mock 4 kits, these lugs on the bass drum and the floor toms were beefier, thicker and stuff. But the rag toms were the regular sort of scaled down version, or smaller of that. Anyway, yeah, 12 by 15, 10 by 14 has 8 lugs. I thought it'd be cool because I was looking for that to put with my. Remember, I used this bass drum. It's my main bass drum in the large bass drum department, the extra large. I have newspaper in there, you can see. Do you see the cut-up newspaper? I wish there was more in there. I wish there were more in there. I wish there were more individual slices. I wish there was more newspaper. All right, nobody's here. So what happens is, when the bass drum is struck, the newspaper, everything sort of gets slightly suspended for a second, slightly. The heads ring, and then there's it settles. Actually, you know what would probably work a lot better for that if I thought about it? Apart from smaller slices of newspaper. Yeah, you know what would work in there? Yeah, get yourself a bunch of like fuzzy frickin', like those 70s football hats that had the fuzzy wuzzy things on the top that one would always rip off. Like, fill that up with about, 45 of those in there. Maybe in there too. Yeah, just like that. If you had to do a tighter studio gig, you'd leave those in there and you put a brick in there too, if you want a little more of a. But yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, so those hat top round bally thingies. Pom-poms. Are they pom-poms? Okay, there's a 505 I just scored. I got rid of all my 505s. Over the years, I had them. A lot of people were like, Terry, I can't find them. I was like, all right, here, let me sell you that, buddy. And then they were all gone. So that's a 505 I reacquired, which is marvelous. I made a video with that the other day. Oh, there's a Pearl. There was a period of time when all the companies were freaking out. There was PDP had fired the shot over everybody's bow and introduced an all maple drum set for under $1,000. You get a 22 by 18 or 20 or something at the time. Definitely by 18. There were 4 finishes that were sort of vintage. There was sky blue, white marine pearl, I think black diamond, and eventually they had red sparkle, which is cool. I actually had a couple of those kits. But Pearl, had the export. So what they did is they changed the export temporarily over to export maple. And I think it was only a year tops. And then they came with the Vision concept. So then the Vision, there was a birch with basswood mix, right? They had a silver badge. And then there was this maple version that had this colored badge. Okay, but here's the thing. Those old Leedy and Ludwig, Leedy and Ludwig flat up until they, when they put the notch in them and put them on the Super Ludwigs. They changed the nipple, the nipples that, actually they didn't have nipples. These flat ones don't have nipples. They just sit flat right on the shell. But with it's done a metal shell, I don't know. But anyway, you'll notice how cool remember that's the old school Imperial. That's nickel too, that is nickel plated. Yeah, but it's all right. I think I wish it were birch, but they didn't make they did later make an all birch, that's true. The silver badge ones it'll say birch basswood ply. That means it's mixes, and those floor toms and bass drums were thick as hell. But back to the basement here. Back to the studio. This is my Color Sound 518 Crash, which was red, that I took the color off. You'll notice, so essentially what this is, which is really cool, this is like the inverse or reverse of, so if you take a Pisces 2002 symbol and then lathe it like a giant bead, you have a giant bead from 2005 on. I mean, they might have done other proprietary things. I'm not saying they did, you know what I mean, a different tempering or whatever. But then here, though, this is the original giant bead shape. They had bigger bells. But look at this, though. So what this is, it's cool. It's like the exact opposite. It has the giant bead, but in fact, it's the shape, bell, profile and everything. But it has the 2002 lathing. Because it was neat. Pisces used the 2002 lathing style on most of the color sounds. By the time they got to color sound 900, meaning the ones from just a few years ago, they didn't. But it's funny, 900's been recycled. They were older in the 80s. Pisces 900, like band stuff. 900, 1000 band stuff. In addition to the 1000, 2000, 3000 regular music stuff. But you'll see here, so this is a giant beat, like, shape. It's got the giant beat bell in it. But the lathing is 2002. You see that? See the classic 2002 lathing? It's got the giant beat lathing, which is right at the end of my fingernail. See that tight, right? But these extra thicker guys. See, there's a thicker one there, and then thick, then tight, giant beat, Pisces 602 sound edge slash 7 sound set, nice tight, beautiful lathing. But then a thicker line goes by. A few more tight lays and a thicker, regular. What that does is that makes, instead of it being even, like shh, I think it kind of gives it gives it a little more like noise. I think that's brilliant. I think it's cool as all hacking. But this was one of the favorites in the video from the other night. All right, now we're at 1905. We are now, okay, those are the amber vistalites. There's the furnacing. It's actually my cleaning robot that is firing up the vacuum. And yeah, so I used these about 4 years ago. I think about it, and on Thanksgiving, the blizzard of 18. All right, so that's it. Here's the tour. I still have some heads there. I have that one. Check that. That's a red with silver. Sometimes they do 3 colors. I really loved that. That's reminiscent of the Dino Denali kind of. Dino Denali had a cool stripe, but didn't he have black stripe with silver? God rest his soul. But I do really love how this very particular black stripe in the middle, and then the 2 smaller silver, and then the bigger red. I really like that. If it was reversed, meaning if the black, of course, was still in the middle, and there was a red stripe, and then above that silver, that'd be cool too. In fact, probably cooler. I think ultimately I do prefer a main silver with the smaller red band, or with the black and then smaller red. It's just the silver, it flashes more. Like that, you know what I mean? It just does. Looks better. See how it's like silver. But see, that's also faded. That's an actual factory bicolor top. Alrighty. So there it is. Alright. There it is. There it is. There's a chunk taken out of a 15-inch 602. Look at that. This is a really cool one. See how fine? Whoa. I have the Mick Fleetwood rivets on that mother. I love when you can see the stamp through there. All right, so from the lair. This is from the lair. The lair. All right, that's it. From the lair. There it is. It's the 14 by 26. Let me see the red sparkle, the silver red sparkle stuff. There's a Zildjian. I have a ZBT on here. I just wanted somebody lent it to me. I just wanted to sort of compare it. I'm going to do a symbol comparison. But I will put the camera away. I'm gonna figure out a way to do it. Hopefully a classy way where it's not too confusing. But I'll say, all right, here's 18 number 4. Here's 18 number 5. Okay, how's it coming along? Did you write that? Okay, here's 18 number 6. And then we all say, which one did you think was which? You know what I mean? Actually, you know what I should probably do? Yeah, I'd give a list of what is mixed up. Put the A to the 3, the B to the 9, or whatever. Okay, look at that. Those are my Pisces 505 15-inch medium. The 505 medium, 14, 15. I've never really played a 13-inch medium. I'm sure they're great. They just have a really nice balance that's reminiscent of a really, really good, like 50s, well, I should say into the 60s, because they're a little heavier, pair of A Zildjians, a good pair of Avita Zildjians you get back in those days. The 505s, they had the giant beat, like the bellish, ding, because remember the 505s had the giant beat bell and the heads too. Remember 2002, they made the bell a smaller version of the giant beat bell, just I think to focus the you know what I mean? You get less of the, even though they ring, I remember, gosh, after I got my 2002s, I think the phone was ringing all the time. It was like the exact ring of like those old Western Electric, like. Actually, it was lower than that. What was the ring? I'll tell you right now. I can give you the pitch. About in there. Ding. But anyway, so you'd be playing the drums in there. I'd be like, God, the phone is ringing. The phone is ringing. I kept getting up, and the phone was not ringing. It was the gorgeous Peisty 2002 18-inch crash and 2002 20-inch crash I had back in the day. Yes, 30 years ago. Okay, so there it is. This is the, here we are on Fullerton and Ranzarex Avenue. All right, we're wrapping it up. We are wrapping it up. And here it is. Here's my Neumann 753479 special order. That has 15 tubes in it. Here, this we have, remember, we have the, these are the Octoply 12 by 15, 14 by 16. You can see they're 3-ply with the granitonium. You see them there too. Okay, there's two other toms, but I'm having sort of bad luck with my, this is my 9 by 13 and my 10 by 14. I'm having sort of a little bad luck there. Oh no, but I will say, I don't know if you've tried the pinstripes lately. At least in the past several years, they've been really good. Well, I should say spec-wise. I don't know if, I hope at every company quality controls them. I do know sometimes members, it's nice if you can try a head on person, just tap on it, make sure it's sort of, it doesn't sound too dead. That's the truth with a lot of head companies. So bear that in mind. All right, so there's the board. There's the camera. This is where all the magic happens. Oh, don't forget what I said about the Imperials. Isn't that cool looking though? I love the frosty look. That's the frosty, original frosty. Hang on. The original frosty aluminum. Look at the chrome. The frosty aluminum. I don't know why they stopped doing frosty. I mean, maybe they felt like it cannibalized, but that's still such a sharp look. It would be so nifty if Ludwig came back, get the anodized shell or whatever the hell it is, and see the aluminum? It's frosty. Like on the reissue acrylites, that's just sort of a really, I think, not the greatest job. I mean, they're selling, people dig them, God bless America. But the original frostiness of acrylites in those standards is crazy beautiful. Put some chrome on that. God, put some nickel on that. Put some polished nickel on that on a Supra. Make them 8 lug. See, I still, please make a 6.5 by 14 8-lugger. People always forget, well, Terry, there are some 6.5 by 14 acrylites from the old days. Where every acrylite did the 6.5 was always been 10 lug. But, you know what I mean? But I just want the day where I get an 8 lug 6.5 by 14. I just like the way it tunes. And I think I have an idea. I've come up with an idea to help stop the reversing of the threads to detune your drum. I have an idea there. Oh yeah, my S up. Look at that. What is that? It's an S thin crash. That is a very bright, good sounding, even up close, and it does this beautiful cymbal. It's B12. It's surprisingly light. I think it's in the 13s, possibly the upper 12s. I used that on stage with Kashmir in that gig as my main crash. Not that particular one. I'd taken the ink off because I didn't want anybody freaking out, being like, he's an imposter. You know what I mean? So, but that's what I used. Moby Dick and all, smacking my hand out. It was great. Didn't really hurt my hand too much when I bashed it with. But anyway, so that's it there. All right. There's the 6.5 by 1460s. Super sensitive. All right, that's it for now. We were getting up toward 27 minutes. Hope everybody's good. Still working with Ty. Don't forget, we have Ty and I have the TNT channel on YouTube. TNT. That's where it's happening. We just wrapped up a new song very recently. It's very cool. I had this track. It's like a boogie, like a and Ty's like, let me check that out. And then and he hands his back to me. It's like, oh, and then, oh my God.